How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Garage 99. Today we are finally reviewing my 1997 Mazda Miata. Now, I bought this thing back in August-ish, maybe July time, and it was a bone stock barn find. But I already had a crashed, somewhat track-ready car at the time, and I wanted to find a nice stock car to throw all the bits and parts on so I could get rid of that one. Now it's finally coming toward the end of February, beginning of March, and this car is exactly how I want it for my first track day. I'm building this car strictly for like a weekend purpose, drop top, hit the track type of car where I can kind of do anything with it, keep it reliable, and still use it every day if I wanted to. As you can see, I don't have a center console anymore. I did delete that. Kind of went with some fancier bits. Got a weighted shift knob, the Jazz Performance boot, center console delete carpet, Jazz Performance tombstone finishing piece, all of that, just to keep the look of this thing nice and new. It does also have a Momo quick disconnect steering wheel and an energy hub. I did purchase some Sparco seats with a harness, and we have a Hard Dog M1 hardcore roll bar in here. And that's pretty much it for the interior, outside of maybe if you can see the Sparco toe straps for the door pulls, and we did the armrest deletes. I'm cruising about 60, 65 right now. About 3,000 RPM. There is a lot of wind noise inside of this car, so that is something that you pretty much gotta look forward to if and when you decide to purchase one of these things. This is a 97, so it is actually the last year that they made this first generation. That's kind of what I wanted. I wanted like the newest version of that car because I still wanted the pop-up headlights. I still like that 90s nostalgia. It's a roomy car. I'm 6'1.5", 6'2" on a good day, and I fit in this car no problem. This seat is actually lower than stock. It's not on a stock rail. It's on some seat rail. I can't think of the name of it right now. And it's actually a really good seat. I'm pretty happy with it. So I wanted to wait to review this car until I kind of had it at a comfortable level where I was happy with driving it all the time, where I could sit in it and not be looking above the windshield frame, or just kind of feel like I'm using a bunch of old outdated pieces of equipment driving it around. It is on an aftermarket suspension. It has a Flying Miata Stage 2, a strut and spring. I got sway bars, end links. It does have upgraded brakes, stainless steel brake lines, pads, rotors, calipers. So this thing is pretty well equipped to go to a track day, which is what I wanted to make it. That's what I wanted to build it for. Other than that, I have 15x8 Avani S1 Storm wheels and Dunlop Dureza 205/50/15. So also a very wide tire for this kind of car and setup. I did just recently roll the fenders and get it aligned. So overall ride quality of this car, a lot like when it's still in stock form and stock suspension, it's actually a pretty stiff car. Of all the vehicles I own, I have a 2015 Focus ST, and I thought that was stiff. This is a much stiffer car. The suspension has a lot of give to it, but the rebound is harsh. It is an absolute corner shredding car. It's built to go around a corner fast and to carry speed. It's not built for speed. I mean, this car only has 130 horsepower at the crank if you have a 1.8 liter. I think even the 1.6 is about the same thing. But it's not a fast car. I wouldn't call it slow though. It makes a lot of noises. It's very loud exhaust for a stock exhaust. You get a lot of cabin noise from everything. You sit very close to the road. It kind of gives you the immersion or illusion that you are actually going faster than you are. Throttle response in this car is incredible. Everything is very mechanical. You have drive-by cable brakes, a manual throttle body, even the parking brake, everything is all cable. Nothing is electronic in this car. There's no power windows, no power locks, nothing. Everything, even the trunk and the gas hatch are right here. Usually they're inside the center console cubby, but they are right here. I mean, everything is cable driven, so everything is very raw feeling. This is a very raw car. The driving experience of this car is going to be a little more exciting and energetic than if you were to possibly get a new sports car. They started making this back in '89. It was designed to be a sports car, so you will get that sports car feel. Handling is very sharp and very tight. Acceleration is very smooth. Braking, if this thing would try to stop itself any harder, I literally think it would flip over forward. It is very good brakes. I think one piston front, one piston rear. They're not super big. You can get bigger sport brakes, and they do make aftermarket 4-piston and 6-piston brake calipers for this car for the front. I did keep the radio, I kept AC, heat, everything in it. I actually completely restored everything in here. If it didn't look nice, I wanted to redo it and refinish it. I wanted to make sure I was comfortable in it. I wanted to take out unnecessary weight if it was possible. That's why I got rid of the center console. I got a little more arm room without the door handles. I wanted to leave the soft top instead of getting a hard top because I wanted to just be able to drop the top if I wanted to. You know, on a nice warm day. I'm not going to be taking this to the track every day, and I still want to enjoy it. This is a bone stock engine, so for those of you who do want to modify this car, you can leave the motor stock and still do a lot to this. I mean, I didn't pay for all of the parts because I got a lot of them used or they came with my other car, but you are looking at about $2 to $4 grand depending on what you get and where you get it for parts on this car. Parts specifically for this car are pretty inexpensive aftermarket. I mean, you could pay $700 to $1,000 or more for an exhaust for some vehicles. For a catback for this, a decent catback, you can pay 300 bucks. It's a good entry-level car if you're not looking to spend more than 4 or 5 grand. And it's a good learning experience car since everything is raw. You can work on everything. We got a couple curves up here. I used to drive around that. The car did not even hesitate. It was a pretty wide bank turn. Does start singing a lot and does give you a lot of torque once you get up to the 5,000 to 7,000 RPM range. Like here's a pretty sharp turn. Just effortlessly turns into it. Minimal body roll. Really good car. 7,000. 56. Making these turns look like nothing. This car does not hesitate. It says, please give me a turn. I want to go around as fast as I can. Oh, man. Got a little traffic, but that's fine. Otherwise, there'd be no stopping me. If you live in an area where you do have a couple windy back roads that you like to take on a weekend or like, you know, the slower times during the day and really truly enjoy, this is the car. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw it, but quite a big smile on my face. This car always puts a smile on my face, and it's the cheapest vehicle I've ever owned. And if that doesn't say a good driver's car, I don't know what does. Yeah, you are going to get your rattles and everything. It is a 22-year-old car. You can get newer ones depending on whatever your budget is. I would say the older ones you get, it's going to feel like an older car, but it might just be a better experience too. There's less electronic assisting items. If you want a more raw driving experience, get an older car. Like my Focus has ABS, you know, traction control, torque vectoring, and it assists you when you shift. I mean, it does all these crazy things that kind of take a little bit of the driving experience away from you. All right, so this is a 25 turn up here. This is the perfect example. It's a 25 turn. Recommends you go around at 25. That was... Sorry about that. I need to work on second gear a little bit. I think the synchros are starting to go, but I do have an extra transmission. We actually have a pretty big Miata specific shop in our town that's only about 10-15 minutes away from me, so I take advantage of it whenever I can. If you guys are looking for a cheap, easy to get into vehicle where you just are starting to learn how to work on stuff, or you want to start going to track days and learning how to drive professionally, whatever it may be, Miata is probably the answer for you. I never thought I would own one of these cars. I can't see why I've never owned one before. Even if you just wanted to try it, you probably won't lose any money on it. If anything, you can make money because these cars are kind of at a very stable price point right now. I can't really think of many downsides off the top of my head. I guess if you're driving it at night, the pop-up headlights can get in your way of seeing things on the road. If you want like something with a smoother ride as a daily or whatever, I guess that would be an issue. I know a bunch of people who daily these things in the winter. They get a beefier set with a higher profile winter tire for it and have no issues. It's just a good all-around car. If you have a family and this is your daily car, I don't recommend that, I guess. This is a good extra car. It's a good second car. Even if you find one that's like wrecked, I always see people make exo cage go-kart looking things out of them, so you can pretty much do everything with it. It is a 5-speed. Gears aren't too tall. They're actually pretty short. I think this car tops out around 125 with a 4:1 gear ratio. This is an open diff. I have a Torsen limited slip at home. I might be installing eventually. Price point, I feel like these aren't going to be going down anymore, and they're still pretty affordable. I have less than $1,500 into this car as it is. Just let that sink in. $1,500 vehicle that can put a smile on your face, go around corners quickly, have fun at the track days. Good summer car, drop the top on. I mean, you gotta look for the right deals out there. They're available. Just keep looking if you're looking for one. I would recommend this car to anybody who wants a good driving experience, a car to learn how to drive stick on. There's not much else to it. It doesn't have a lot of options. There's no gimmicks or quirks or anything to it. Car's 100,000 miles plus on it, and it just did that no problem. But on that note, that's going to end today's review of my Miata. I might do an update video eventually. I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, please like the video. You want to see more content, or if you are new to the channel, check out my other videos. I basically have vlogged and documented everything on this car since I got it. So I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. Peace out. Keep turning those gears.